Hi Sabres, this is Cables and Cords 101, and we are going to start with audio and what you know. Most commonly this would be called a headphone jack, but a more correct term is an 1/8 inch audio cord, and the most correct term is a 3.5 millimeter cord. This is a stereo cord, and we know that because it's got two bands here. These green bands separate the left and right channels so that you get different sounds of different instruments into the two sides, left and right audio. So you could have guitar over here and drums over here, or a blend of the two depending on who mixed it and how they mixed it. Moving on with our 3.5 millimeter options, this is a common cord that's very handy for playback, and this is a male to male 3.5 millimeter. So this would go like out of my phone on one side and into a stereo system on the other. And if I was going into an older stereo system, I might use something like this, which is 3.5 millimeter male stereo to RCA, red and white, or left and white. And these are analog inputs that could go to an older speaker system, stereo system, etc. If I couldn't reach that stereo because I wasn't close enough, I could simply use an extension. So I would take male end, connected to this female extension. This would be plugged into my phone, and this might be strung out 10 feet away closer to the stereo system and plugged in there to the stereo. So this is just a male to female 3.5 millimeter extension. And one other variation we're going to talk about with audio is our 3.5 millimeter on this side to what's known as XLR audio on the other side. Now XLR is still industry standard for audio production, like mostly performances, bands, concerts, that kind of thing. And this is the female side. And I've got an example of the male side here too. This is 3 prongs, and XLR simply stands for X left and right, and I believe the X is ground, or the ground connection. And you can actually see the numbered channels there, 1, 2, and 3, and these would connect together and interlock like this. There's a lock on top. So you're going to see this in our gymnasium if you wanted to plug into house sound in the gym or the theater, and a lot of times those will be converted into something more common. In this case, this right here is converted again into 3.5 millimeter audio in there, so we could plug into our phone to play music in the theater. One other variation on sound is what we know commonly as 1/4 inch audio, and this is a 1/4 inch audio cable that would be plugged into your Gibson or Fender Strat, your musical instrument. And the difference between this one and this one is mono and the other one is stereo. And I'm guessing you could figure that out by the one on the left, this one having 2 bands, so it's got 2 channels. Most instruments just have one output, they're a mono output, and then they could be split from there to be shared across speakers. Here's another variation of audio connection that I forgot to talk about, and this would be a set of Apple earbuds. And the unique thing about this 3.5 millimeter connection is it has 3 bands, and 2 of the bands are for input, to take input from the device like your phone or MP3 player and play left and right stereo sound. But the 3rd band is an output, and that output can output a microphone signal, or it can output things like volume up, down, or pausing. And so you can control a device with this. And there's also things you can get like third-party microphones, and you can actually run video through this 3rd band too. You'll see a video connection for an output as well.